Okay. What determines what level a university or college plays at the NCAA level? Right? Well, what a lot of people think is that colleges and universities do it the same way that high schools do it, and they don't. Okay? Unlike in high school, the size or enrollment of a school does not determine what level an institution compares. Tim Duncan, who plays basketball for the San Antonio Spurs, has been a wonderful pro for about 15 years. He went to Wake Forest. Does anybody in here know the enrollment of Wake Forest? Okay, it's about 3,500. Now, Rhodes is 1,800. Wake Forest is Division I in football, basketball. They have fabulous golf, 3,500. Does anybody know the enrollment of Ohio State?
55,000.
About 55,000 on their Columbus campus. Okay, so Ohio State and Wake Forest both play Division I football, Division I basketball, baseball, golf, and all. Okay, so there are a range of institution sizes in Division I. I think Davidson in North Carolina has had some really good basketball. There are about 2,200 students. Rice in Houston, Texas is about 3,000 students. Okay? So up here I just gave you some examples. In Division I you have schools like Vanderbilt, UCLA, Michigan, and Belmont. Division II is North Alabama, Valdosta State. And then in Division III you have Rhodes, Sewanee, Washington Lee, Amherst, Mount Union. The University of Wisconsin at Whitewater, there are about 4 state schools in Wisconsin, and all have about 10,000 students that compete in Division III. Okay, what determines what level that you compete has to do with the number of scholarships that you offer. All right, so in Division I football, the University of Alabama can have 85 football players on a full scholarships. Wake Forest can have 85 football players on full scholarships. So that is the thing that makes those schools equal. I think they can have 13 women's basketball players on scholarship. So Auburn has that number, so does the University of Tennessee. In Division II, you can have 35 football players on a full scholarship. Now, the University of North Alabama, they will split some of their scholarships in basketball and football and soccer and some other sports in order to enroll the best players that they can. But that is the rule for Division II. Okay, the number of scholarships is much less. In Division III, we do not award any athletic-related aid. All of our aid is based on academics or is based on need. All right, Division III was created in 1973, and it was patterned after the Ivy League. If you watch the NCAA basketball tournament, every year there's a school from the Ivy League that really makes a run deep into the men's basketball tournament. I think last year it was Harvard. They went to the Final 16. If you probably analyze Harvard's team, if they have 15 players on their team, I'm telling you 7 of those players' parents are paying over $60,000 for them to go to Harvard and play basketball. Harvard, although they're Division I, offers no athletic grant and aids. If you have the ability to pay full tuition, room, and board, they have no academic scholarships. The opportunity to get in Harvard is what you get. And the same with Princeton, Dartmouth, and those schools. Now, like Rhodes, if you have a financial need, Harvard and Dartmouth and Yale, they do offer financial aid based on need if you qualify for that. But in Division III, we offer no athletic grant and aids. I won't say which one it is, but our women's golf team right now is ranked number 10 in the country. One of our top 5 players, she's an outstanding student, but her parents are paying $52,000. She had a 27 on the ACT. She was in the top third of her class from a public school. She was a good enough student to be admitted to Rhodes, but not a good enough student to get anything academically. Okay, so any questions about Division I, II, and III? It's not enrollment. It's not the size of a school that determines what level you play. Okay? Any of you toying around, or any of your sons or daughters looking at what this clearinghouse is? Okay. In Division I and II, if you think that you are going to be recruited by a Division I or II school, if you just think you're going to be recruited, then you must register for the NCAA clearinghouse. Now, being in Memphis, where there is a history of troublesome basketball, this clearinghouse has come under great scrutiny. So I know most of what I know about the clearinghouse through the Commercial Appeal newspaper and some of the Memphis basketball players who have had some issues with clearinghouse. But it was a mechanism about 10 years ago that was created by the NCAA where when your son or daughter takes the ACT, there's a code that they put on their ACT test, and that test score is automatically sent to the clearinghouse. There's also a place in there where you list the number and type of courses that you were taking at Randolph. Now, this is not going to be an issue at Randolph. The core classes that students are required to take in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, you're going to meet all of the standards for the NCAA. It could be a bigger issue perhaps at some other schools because you have to take Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2 in order to be eligible to play at the Division I level. So it's questions like that that the clearinghouse is asking. Now, 20 years ago when I gave this presentation, I had to hand out a bunch of stuff about the clearinghouse. All you got to do is take your phone or your computer, Google NCAA clearinghouse, you open that up, and it's a very simple process. But if your son or daughter is either being recruited or they think that they want to be recruited for an NCAA Division I or Division II school, in their junior year, you need to register them for the clearinghouse. I'm 99% sure there's no fee for doing that. Okay? In Division III, if you're looking at schools like Sewanee or Birmingham Southern or Rhodes, that is not something that you have to do to be recruited by a Division III school.